Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty, half my age, at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, because it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to do is brought to you by Camo Dumpsters. This is a great thing that I got going on up in Tennessee. Trying to make my way all the way back down to Atlanta, but it's going to take me a little bit. But one of the things I always want to tell you is the ones up in Tennessee, I'm knocking on everybody's back door trying to let them know what all we doing.
Yes, sir.
We got a great landfill, hauling division, and a transfer station. We're just trying to grow, and we're trying to make sure we get all y'all needs. So if y'all remember me from Dispose down here in Atlanta, just understand what I'm doing up there in Tennessee. I'm all over the place. I'm traveling, but I want to get right next to you.
There you go.
That's what we do at Camo. Now, I got to get back to this man that comes in this bad boy each and every time with this great smile. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Man, I'm doing fabulous, Smooth J.
Man,
doing fabulous, man.
Ooh,
Now listen, that's coming off the dome, but I got a few things going on, but
Okay, wrapping it.
Just fired up about the new year, man. Getting excited about making some big things happen next year.
Okay,
It was a very productive year, 2022. And,
Proud of you, my brother.
Thank
Proud
you,
of you.
man. Thank you. Got some big goals and objectives for 2023. That's gonna add value to the program. So yeah, I'm doing good, man. It's beautiful days. Obviously a lot of people are going through the fire, but I'm doing well, man. How you doing, Smooth J?
Man, like I tell you, man, getting my health in order. Again, was sick one time, we're healing now, but then just constantly looking at life and knowing through all these hurdles, we still shine.
Yes.
When I keep hearing people so depressed because of the small things that they ain't achieving,
Right.
but they don't look at the bigger picture, all the things they get up and do right every day,
Right.
I get sad for them and happy for me.
Right.
Because I used to be that way too. I used to look at life just like that.
Yeah.
Now I don't.
Glass half empty type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you change that whole way of looking at things when you start learning how to see things differently or have a better understanding of life.
Right.
And not chasing things, but understanding things in a way that it actually chases you off of the things that you can do compared to the things that some people tell me I have to do in order to get this and this.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, you got to do some things for knowledge.
Right.
I get that. But a lot of people are doing it for money.
Mm.
And they chasing some things that's going to be hard to accomplish and get because you ain't really looking at it for what it is. You looking at it just for the money.
Right.
So you narrow-minded and you're getting hit left and right with things that I feel like it's not even fair to you.
Yeah.
But then when you give that up and realize what he has for you, that's your gift, that's something that can't be taken from you.
Right.
And I really want to make sure some people live within their gift, but they can live the most happiest life for them. It's not always about the riches. It's about being stable and understanding and loved.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
You just don't understand.
Ooh, I do understand, my friend. A great way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth J.
In the building.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fantastic dialogue. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a lack of appreciation. It just seems like sometimes you are pouring forth and putting out your resources and helping, and it just doesn't seem like there's any response. It doesn't seem like you're not getting the feeling that you're being appreciated or valued. And we're gonna have to talk about that, Jay.
Yes, we are.
Because we are givers, in our lives, and giving is about helping. It's about supporting, and so we want to dive into this conversation tonight. We're asking that you just be here with us and grow through the conversation. At the end of this conversation, we hope that you will have a better understanding of appreciation, and that we all might be able to show more appreciation, even for some of the small things that we might take for granted in our lives.
Yes.
But the idea is to just wake up around appreciation and grow. And by the time we get done with this show, we're all going to be stronger, healthier, better people for it. You know, there's just not enough loving help in the world.
Correct.
You know, I've been surrounded by several people that we constantly are elevating our minds, are elevating our thinking, elevating our understanding of life, even some of the challenging things in life. And there are a lot of folks who don't have that. And so if you don't have the opportunity to grow and to elevate, Bar Talk with Jay is one of those ways to do so. And so we thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We always start our show off with a prayer.
Oh, yeah.
And Jay, I didn't know, did you have a prayer tonight?
I don't got one in mind right now for you, Crab. So what you gonna hit him with?
Okay. Well, let's just focus on having a positive spirit.
Ooh.
Right.
I always like that.
Okay. And so, Heavenly Father, we just thank you right now for your love and for the gifts of the Spirit. We thank you for all that we have in our lives, especially during this holiday season. We're asking, Heavenly Father, that you would inspire us all to be positive in our mindset. Keep us filled with faith. Keep us filled with right understanding and right ideas.
Yes.
Keep us, Father, on the straight and narrow path to achieving greatness in all of our lives. Don't allow us to wallow and to worry and to fear and to doubt and to be filled with mistrust even of ourselves and sometimes of the world. We want to put all of our strength in your hands, and we want our mindsets at a place that is effective for you to work on us and for you to work powers and miracles in our lives. We're asking for the positive mindset to do good and great work in our lives. We're asking that you would be here tonight to inspire us on this word, bring your intelligence and your love. We allow this to happen in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Oh, you did that one.
Amen. All right. And
Touching, man. Touching.
Here we go. What's been going on in your life, man? Talk to me.
Man, let me tell you, I'm finally getting to a point where I'm starting to get a lot of things set up. And, you know, I was telling you before about A players and B players. We're in a time where I have to look at C and D.
Okay.
And it is amazing that we did the show, and I felt so confident in A and B. And I still feel that way. Don't get it wrong. But the show helped me realize that now what I've got coming through the door is C and D. And I gotta have bodies, so I can't be that picky no more.
Right.
So instead of me making all my things come with the A and B, I have to be more open-minded. Because we're in a situation at a time that I can't just sit back and think about what I did the other day. I gotta start looking at what's going on the upcoming days.
Right.
So I can't be narrow-minded.
Right.
So I'm constantly revolving and changing with today's time to adjust to tomorrow's. And I think that right there it was really opening to me, eye-opening, that I have to deal with something I thought I'd never have to deal with. But I still have to coach them up.
Yes.
So even with the interview, and I felt good, I'm noticing I don't get all that. But I can't be quick to be like, well, I got to get somebody else. I just can't quit you, but I got to kind of push you.
Right.
To realizing the vision and what all we need. Because they just come in and I just want to do this. You know, they come in cocky like, no, I just want to do this one thing, and I have to have you doing multiple things because my business shifts. And then I get some people to be like, well, they just want the easiest thing, but they want the most pay. I'm like, I'm getting confused here.
Excuse me.
You know, but you want to be me, but you don't want to do me. Okay.
And what is that saying? What is that overall saying, Jay? Just think about the nature of human life and, you know, people having jobs. What does that say?
They don't really have no appreciation towards the job no more.
Okay.
They just want to pay.
They just want
without
to pay.
the work.
Right. Right.
And I didn't want to see it. Yeah. Right. And they feel entitled to more pay. Some strange reason through this pandemic, it's been kind of told that everybody's paying more money and I can get more money and do less work.
Okay.
And I don't know where that's at, but find it, not me. Because you got to put it in order for us to be successful. And if you feel like you can just work from home, not in my business, mine is not one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you be mindful when you start talking ignorance to a person, because it'll probably keep you from even getting in the door.
Right.
And my whole thing is, they don't show that, but they just show the lack of want to work.
Yeah.
Not on time. Got an excuse for everything. Car won't start, so won't even come in late. I just come in tomorrow.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
their drive shows that they don't really have a drive.
No drive. Absolutely.
And it makes it very difficult, because I'm trying to run a business and you trying to run a game.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking like I'm the person that's being mean or arrogant or pompous behind, when I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to make sure everybody's here and everybody go home safely, and then you can care less. It's just about you.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, that's why you came, because you just want to make your money so you can take care of your family. I want you to be able to do it too. But in that, I'm willing to raise up people that's willing to raise up.
Right.
I see no raise in you,
Mm.
but yet you expecting it.
Right.
I had somebody just start asking me when they gonna get a raise. I'm trying to figure out if I even want to pass the 90 days.
Right.
But he talking about when the next raise coming. Ain't told stuff up,
Yeah.
but asking me when the next raise. Didn't dock nothing out his check, but I sure see a negative in my account on the stuff because again, I have to train and I have to be fair.
Right.
But it's not always fair.
Right.
I unfairly have to take losses for a person that I really need, because I need bodies, but then they really don't care. And that's what shows a lot right now. And it's a difficult thing to deal with, but I think a lot of businesses are dealing with it.
Well, yeah, there's a shortage of employees, and you wonder where did all these employees go, right? But long story short is that is kind of the way of the world, Jay. That a lot of the hourly jobs, a lot of the kind of the lower jobs in the world, that these people they're not operating on years of loyalty. They're not operating on commitment to what the environment needs. They're operating on, I come here, spend my 8 hours, and then I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you pay me, and if I do that for a little while for you, you ought to pay me even more. And it's just not real. So ultimately what has to happen is the levels of leadership has to step up. Because if leadership doesn't raise up, then we're going to find ourselves short and short-handed. So now I have to begin trying to inspire people who may have never been inspired.
Correct.
Inspire people who may don't want to be inspired, right? And that is basically, it's kind of like babying grown employees.
I do that too.
Right? But to some degree, I think it kind of helps us as leaders step our game up, right? Here's what we're talking about tonight: lack of appreciation. Now we have to appreciate somebody who otherwise would have no value for our organization. We've got to find something in them that's worthy of hanging on to.
Correct.
We got to find something in them that might be, maybe it's heartfelt. We know it's going to be about trying to get the job done, but maybe it's about teaching them that, hey, if you can, work a little harder, if you can show a little more responsibility, if you show a little more commitment, I can work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I can offer you a vision. I can not only offer you just a place to get your bills paid,
Right.
but I can offer you some security, which means that, hey, you might need some insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you stay with me long enough, I can put you on the insurance program. That way you can take care of yourself.
Correct.
And then as we grow, I can find other opportunities to put you in that will promote you and get you a better paycheck, et cetera, et cetera. Now we're having to appreciate people who otherwise we might just push away.
Correct.
Right? And that's a hard one. When you got a young person who who wants easy money. They got entitlement, their excuses. They have no drive. You know, they want everything for free. They don't want to listen to the training. They don't want to, they don't want to grow. That's a difficult scenario, especially when you have a bottom line to hit, and you have a certain amount of production that you need to get done.
Say it.
That can take a lot out of a leader. But we have to engage in those things more and more nowadays.
Right.
And if we don't, we're gonna find ourselves missing the mark in our business. So what are you doing differently? What are you shifting your levels of appreciation, Jay?
Not just in my levels of appreciation, but I'm shifting how I'm handling hiring and what I'm doing with them, to put other processes in front of them that's easier, but then they can achieve my bottom line goal. I used to have it real high. I have to lower it because they're not achieving it, and I have to get these levels turned around.
Right.
So I have to look at it, and we have to analyze. So I'm working with my HR girl, and we're trying to find new ways to get them back through the door, and it's hard because I'm way out there in the country.
Right.
I don't have a lot I can pull from. So which ones I do get in, I try to make comfortable however they are.
Right.
And then I try to get them to that next level.
Right.
But we work with them individually. Okay. Where before I was just hurdling them as a group. You know, this is what it is. We talk as a group. Now I have to do more individual talks because I see different ones need a little bit more attention than others. I'm changing my strategy of my training. I'm trying to spend a little bit more time in the training. That costs me money, but I'd rather invest it on the upfront than on the backside.
Right.
So these are the different things that we're putting in position in place because of the fact that some of the stuff we was doing before just wasn't working in today's time. Yeah. And it was nervousing realizing it because at first I'm just looking at myself because I'm looking at my numbers and I'm a number guy. Once I get the numbers and I'm seeing it, I'm like, wow, I'm not doing good here. And again, that's off of other people. But as a coach, I take it as a responsibility of my own.
Right.
So I have to get on the phone and start talking to different ones to find out, could narrow it down where it's at, and then let's find out. And I found out some of it was mechanical, some of them was lack of knowledge. And again, I take ownership in that. So it's like, okay, well, let's get them trained up or retrain. Right. Because it seemed like we failed.
Right.
And my manager got mad at me. It's like, why it got to be us? Because somebody got to take the ownership. We can't just push things off on other people all the time. We have to be the front leader. And of course, he didn't like that because it caused us to do some more work. But then when that person turned around, we had that problem no more. Even he came back to me and said, man, that worked.
Right.
But he didn't think of it that way.
Right.
So somebody has to be that inventive person that's going to find new ways.
Yeah.
And then he had an appreciation that I came to him instead of just going directly to the source. He is the manager.
Yeah.
My job is to make sure you know your job. Not me just going to the problem and fixing the problem, because you won't see it, then you won't know.
Right.
So that's why he started appreciating some of the things we was doing, because I involved.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the disrespect comes from, and the lack of appreciation is because people just go around folks, and they feel disrespected. Mm-hmm. Like, man, you just came in my department and did something. Why didn't you come to me? And I really feel like you're right, because I hired you to do a job, so I should. But if we get in our feelings when we don't do good, and we go straight to the source. Yeah. Instead of looking at our resources. I got an HR person, I got a manager. I put these people in place because of the fact I shouldn't be running in all the time anyway. Right. And then I go around all that because I got in my feelings. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like the lack of appreciation comes from. And the appreciation comes from when you actually work with a person and say gratitude. And he came back and told me that. I appreciate him for just saying that. But when I was done showing some things, I had to say, gratitude to him. Yeah. Because again, he didn't want to do this extra work, but I told him long term it'll pay off. And I told him gratitude for going ahead and going forth, even though that's part of his job. But I want him to know he had to make a change too. Right. And I appreciate him for making that change. Yeah. And I really feel like we do to say gratitude, appreciation, and thank you is priceless and should be done daily. Yes. To your loved ones, to your kids, to anyone in your life, you need to make sure you are doing the best job you can to make them feel loved and acknowledged. It goes a long way. Yes. But everybody want to push you, and everybody wants something from you, and you can't even say a kind word to them, and you never know who's on that edge, man.
Right.
There's a lot of people that might be on that edge that might not even want to be looking at what tomorrow's going to bring. I don't even want to just say they want to take their lives, because unfortunately these are things that's happening as well. Right. I don't even want to speak on that. I want to speak positive words to let somebody know when you're on that edge, there is somebody that cares. I'll be doggone it. I might not know you. I care. I care enough not to want you to end what could be better for you once you stay in the game. But again, that's going to take you to understand what the Lord has for you, the gift you got. And if you do what you're thinking about doing, that gift will go away. No one will get your gift. The world would never be able to see your gift. It'll be buried. And I want it to be seen.
Yeah.
I want to see everybody's gifts, because great people show great things. And you can't be mediocre looking for great.
Yeah.
Them two don't exist.
I really like the idea of showing love and acknowledgement. And I do so all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many things to be thankful for.
Say it.
I mean, there's just infinite number of things to be thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't show that gratitude, it just feels like they don't care.
Right.
I know one of the things that I like to do when people come to my house is I like to be prepared.
Okay.
Right? And I don't have a lot of company, but when I do have company, I'm gonna hit the store real quick. I'm gonna make sure we got a beverage, make sure we got a snack, I'll make sure we da.
They feel good.
Well, I just want to show my guests that I care for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they always will have an opportunity to say thank you. They will always have an opportunity to say, "Wow, you looked out," What's that?
I got a secret.
What's that?
My guest bed is harder than a mug.
But you got one.
But I got a bed for you. You got to stay tonight.
You got one.
And I got a little top cushion thing I put on there.
Yeah.
For my kids whenever they kind of visit me. But when they're not there, and I get that person and just need to stay over real quick, that mattress harder than a mug. They be telling me all the time, "Man, this mattress hard." I be like, "Yeah," because I figure if I give you a hard mattress and keep that closet full, you ain't going for a long-term stay. Okay? And if you want to complain about that, go home.
Right.
and again, it's my jokey joke, but it's the truth. Because a lot of people are bringing to my attention. It's not. But it's not because I don't want to show some appreciation.
Yeah.
But why would I get a nice, soft bed and make you feel that comfortable, then make you feel like you ain't going to leave? And you normally ain't paying to stay with me. Right. Because I'm going to show anybody to come a little bit of gratitude and love. But I thought it was kind of funny because my son came, and of course it's a different mattress than when he was there because all that stuff left when he left. So he come back. Like, "Dang, Dad, my bed feel better than this." And I was like, "Yeah, so go back to your bed. You spending time with me, but you ain't got to spend that much." Mm-hmm. So I've seen him on the couch downstairs. Mm-hmm. But I guess I'm kind of wrong. But just know, I had a plan. I'm trying to stick to the plan, but again, I do love my guests, and I do have something nice that I can put on there that, for family members that want to come visit me. I ain't treating everybody like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
Have you ever had an experience where you poured out and you just didn't feel like the people were grateful? They didn't show any appreciation for what you did for them?
Unfortunately, in a couple of relationships I had, yes.
Okay.
I went out my way to make sure things was taken care of and was straight. And no, I never got a thank you or anything. And I thought it was kind of strange because they knew I went out my way to make sure that happened. And they didn't say anything, and I was like, kind of puzzled. But again, I didn't do it for the appreciation. I didn't do it for them to say it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a lack of it when I noticed that person didn't even want to acknowledge, and they knew I did it. Right. It's not like somebody just came along and magically did it. They ain't no magically delicious.
Right.
Jay did his part, did it. Didn't ask for nothing, didn't bring it up, and they ain't bring it up either.
Yeah.
And just left it there. And I said, something? Maybe something else is going on. I never can tell you what really happened because the person never ever said anything.
Yeah.
I won't say that was the fork that killed that relationship, but it was something that was in my head
Yeah.
that I know I kept back there.
But a lack of appreciation will.
It
It can be a fork.
especially when it keeps coming.
Yeah.
There's only gonna be so many forks that I'm gonna keep taking.
Right.
And that person probably only did it like twice that I can recall, because by the third incidence of that person showing just no remorse at all for her own made me feel like, this is not a place for me.
Right.
Because I can't fix all that. I'm not even in that household like that. So I just distanced myself and I said, nah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So I had to say it. I had to give up on something that I was newly getting into, but I seen it wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I said, why waste my time? And I did. I had to push away. And I won't just blame it on a lack of appreciation. It's just that person was going through a lot of things.
Yeah.
And them things was just more than I probably could bear, or felt like I wanted to bear just entering it.
Right.
And I can't say she did anything dishonest, or she didn't just not tell me. Because again, everybody don't tell you all their struggles. But hers was big enough and deep enough to know there's only so much I could do.
Right.
And I don't want to make it seem like I just left a person in a bad situation. It's just that person stayed in that situation. I seen no willingness to change what was going on in her life without putting all her business out there. So yes, I dealt that. And I like to say sometimes I feel it because I've seen some people broke down, and I'm normally pulling over and helping people.
Right.
But I was in a situation where I was really late and I had to get somewhere, and I just seen an accident just happen. And I took the time to turn my strobes to make sure everybody was straight. But there's a lot of times I just didn't have the time.
Right.
Or if I have somebody with me, I don't like putting other people in harm's way. Okay? So I feel like sometimes I don't show enough appreciation. There's been times I walk through the door and I forgot about the person behind me.
Yeah.
I'm normally that person that will hold that door regardless who you are. Color, creed, I didn't care. One time there was a person that looked like they was homeless. Didn't matter. I could still show them an act of kindness.
Absolutely.
It could have been that one thing that made that person's day. That even though they was down and out, they knew I cared.
Yeah.
So I have to do a better job as well. And I don't always do it because I always like putting other things in front of me. And I need to stop sometimes and just push back. Because I ain't that important that I can't show an act of kindness.
Yeah.
And if I do get to be that important, I'm going to have to back up. Because I don't think there's no position in this world
There is none.
that you act like you don't care for somebody.
Right.
Not at least that person did something to you, but bottom line, care is a simple thing to be done.
Right.
And that appreciation go a long way. And I like to say I'm just going to work harder to being a better person doing it. And again, I don't always say it. And if anybody listening to this and I haven't said it to you, I love you and I appreciate you. For anybody that's in my life, from Kraft to Booby and anybody around me, please know, don't let this show fool you. We've been doing it for a minute and a half, but I appreciate the work, the effort, and everybody to pour in, from the ones that subscribe and like. Please understand, this is something that I envisioned and now it's came true. It is heartwarming to know people do care to watch, listen, and subscribe. Man, y'all made me tear up. I'm starting to get emotional.
Yeah. Because you can't take any of that for granted.
No.
But
I feel like some people do, but they don't mean to. Because they look at the numbers, and they see their numbers go up. So they get happy, but you forget the work that it took to get there.
That's right.
And I know we do this all the time. I fly in to make sure it happens. We got to set things up for it just to show all the time, like that we're here when we ain't. And we do this, again, because it's a want, it's a dream, it's a passion, and it's part of my love.
Right.
Man, when you get all that, it helps you see other things. And it makes me understand why I pray for understanding. So again, that's the gift I want to make sure everybody opens up and realizes what God got for you.
Yeah.
Compared to what somebody tells you.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. The word gratitude and appreciation just kind of melt together.
They do.
And I know, I try with every fiber of my being not to take anything for granted. Not anyone, not anything. And I was raised that way.
Right.
My dad was probably one of the most humble and grateful people in the world. You give him anything for a gift or you do something for him, And I remember one day we actually were sitting in our living room,
Mm-hmm.
and you could see out the front window, and the neighbor across the street, we saw her, looked like she was coming to knock on the door. Right? We looking right out the window, looked like she's coming to knock on the door. And so we're expecting the doorbell to ring, but the doorbell don't ring. And so a few moments later, he got up to look out there, and what he saw was she came across the street to pick up some paper that had blown into our yard.
Oh,
She picked up the paper, and she was walking back across the street.
okay.
And my dad was like, Junior, come here. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the kind act that she did.
Right.
She came across the street
To pick it up out of your yard.
out of our yard. And
Man.
not to let us know that, anything was wrong.
Right.
And so needless to say, we did some very special things for that family, for the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
My dad wanted to make sure he showed love. When her husband was sick, we went over and took care of the yard. We cut the front and the back and raked it and made it look nice like we always do our yard.
Mm-hmm.
Those little acts of gratitude, those little acts of appreciation is what makes a neighborhood.
I agree.
It's what makes a family. It's what makes a friendship. And you can't take for granted anything because, that it could have been her last breath that she was on,
But she wanted to make sure she did something for you guys.
She did something for us, right? And I remember hearing Nas has a new album out, and one of the lines he says in there, he says, my neighbors can never be too nosy because they're always looking out for me.
Mm-hmm.
They always calling me saying, hey, I see somebody in your
Right.
driveway. I always see something going on. And, he's crossed the world. And here he has people, what look like they might be nosy, they're actually helping take care of his property,
Correct.
And so, he's constantly, he mentioned he's constantly showing appreciation for people who pour into him and pour into his life. And that's just a great practice. There's just nothing else
Yes, it
to
is.
say other than that. It's a great daily practice to just always show gratitude. I love holding doors for people. I love, going out of my way in whatever way I can to help and support other people. If there's a package at my neighbor's house, I make sure I let them know that it's sitting there so it don't sit out all night long, etc. But I think the man upstairs is always watching.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're always being watched as to how kind can we be. And when we're not kind, when we're not thoughtful about other people, when we're not showing the levels of appreciation that we need to,
Mm-hmm.
it hurts our spirit.
Oh, yes.
And I think perhaps it can even take, steal, destroy opportunities in our lives.
I agree.
Because, those who are, righteous, those who take care of the small things will take care of the big things.
I agree.
Right? And if you're not taking care of the small things, if your neighbors see that, they're always doing something for you and you never say thank you, or you never, or, they have gatherings at their house and they're always inviting you,
Mm-hmm.
but, you have gatherings at your house and you never participate, you never want them to come, you never bring over cookies, you never support them, you never help them, they're going to stop.
Yes.
And ultimately that may, the next thing you know, they see somebody snooping around your house
They ain't gonna tell you.
and they ain't going to tell you, right?
Because
Because
you-
they tired of you, not showing appreciation, not being one who's kind and who's willing to be helpful. So what more can we say on that, man?
I mean, we really, I can say we can acknowledge kind acts. I'd like to say, I have an apartment up in Tennessee, and the landlord, very nosy woman. She's
Very nosy.
always walking around, very
Okay.
nosy.
Yeah.
She knows what I do, and she know I'll be there most of the time, but not all the time at all, because I travel a lot.
Right.
And anytime I get a package, she'll take a picture of it. And she said, I'm putting it on the inside, because she has a key. I'm putting it on the inside. She don't take it inside hers. She always put it inside mine.
Right.
Puts it right over there by my couch or on this little table I got.
Right.
And I don't even have to call and tell her I got something coming. I can let it come, and she takes a picture and sends it to me.
Right.
Now,
And that's love.
it is. And it's one that I really appreciate because I'm traveling, I do things, and she don't want it to pile up, but she also don't want to be an eyesore.
Right.
So she's doing the thing to keep somebody from just coming in and not knowing if I'm there or not. So she makes herself present where I feel comfortable that I don't have to worry about somebody coming in and vandalizing or doing anything.
Right.
And I did tell her thank you. And usually I have to do it every time she is sending that picture because I'll be forgetting to let her know things is coming. But we kind of work good as a unit. I remember a long time when I was lawn cutting. I was out there doing somebody's yard, and the lady next door, her bushes grew all over the place. You couldn't even walk up to her front door, bushes everywhere. And I said to myself, I don't know if she can afford to do it or what, but I'm going to do it for her. So my son went over there and just started. And I said, no, I'm not going to do her first because I didn't want to scare nobody.
Right.
So she came to the door. She was letting me know, she was dealing with some young people at the time. And I really can't afford to pay you. And I said, I really just want to do this for you. And she was like, so you not doing it for no money? And I said, no. She said, well, yeah, go ahead. So we knocked them out real quick. And as I was walking to the truck, she came out with 2 Coca-Colas. She said, I don't got much, but I want to show some appreciation. And normally I'd be like, man, I don't need anything, but I took the Cokes.
Yeah.
As an act of kindness because she just felt she wanted to give something, and you have to be willing to accept. So I accepted. Well, my son accepted faster. He grabbed the thing before I could ever get to it. But
Yeah.
I just liked how that went down.
Yeah.
Later on, she asked me, and she had paid me to cut her yard.
Yeah.
But it was way further down. But like she said, she had to go through a hard time, and when she made it through, she remembered me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what really acts of kindness is about. You don't always get it right back, but you'll get it back by a person remembering your kind deed.
Yes.
And I know we ain't always got time to do it, but we can make time to do some things for
Yes.
some people.
You know, one of the lessons I had to learn was, I'm always one of those people. I'm usually on top of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had days where I haven't been, but I'm on top of my life. I'm kind of ahead of the curve. You know how we live,
Yes.
And when you go to somebody's house and they offer you something,
Mm-hmm.
it's a sign of appreciation to accept it.
True.
Like, the Mexican families, they love to cook for you. They love to offer you. They love for you to give you, beverages, and they want to show their hospitality. And it's kind of rude not to accept, just so that you know that, people are offering you acts of love and kindness. Be willing to accept it. Now, it's okay if you simply don't want it, but if you accept it, how good it makes them feel.
Right.
They really feel like they're making you comfortable in their home. They're making you comfortable, and they're making you feel like a part of the family. Mm-hmm. And so that was a lesson I had to learn, that when people offer you things, you be like, well, yeah, I'd love a beverage. That'd be great, And, you drink the beverage, and it makes them feel like they've taken care of you
Right.
to some degree.
Gave you great hospitality.
Great hospitality, right? And so it's not always just kind of one-sided, but there are no finer acts of kindness than gratitude and appreciation, and letting other people know that they are loved, and acknowledging them. Obviously, please and thank you makes a huge difference in the world. So let's just be a little more mindful of how kindness can be demonstrated in our lives. How we can express more kindness in the world. Sometimes, giving gifts, big gifts, small gifts. We're in the holiday season right now, and I'm not sure when you are watching this show, but in the holiday season, it just may be somebody who just waves at you and checks on your mail every once in a while or whatever. But let your gifts be meaningful appreciation. Let your gifts be tokens of your gratitude, right? And sometimes it has to be for nothing else other than, you know what? We've been living in this neighborhood for 10 years together. We almost never say anything to each other, but I just want you to know I appreciate you. I appreciate how you take care of your yard. I appreciate how you take care and manage your kids. I appreciate how, you know, you being here with us. We managing this community, and we are a family whether I ever talk to you again this year or not.
That's right.
But I can give you this token of appreciation to just let you know that I'm thinking about how much I care for you, even though we don't talk very much.
Preach that. That's,
You know?
that's big.
Yeah, that is huge. And so don't let this holiday season, don't let any holiday season pass you by without showing some form of gratitude
Correct.
to the people around you. They all matter, and you know, you showing it just might be something that, you know, that little act of gratitude just might do something great for you down the road. You never know. And so, anything else on the topic, Jay?
No, it's just, again, I already made a pledge, and I'm not waiting till the new year to do it. I always say if it's something I want to do, I want to start it immediately and start saying it more and making sure I incorporate it in everything that I do.
There you go.
And I really appreciate if any of you guys out there feel that way and you want to incorporate it, let's make a challenge.
There you go.
And that challenge is let's do more in appreciation and gratitude toward the people that you love and strangers. Don't just do it to the ones that you know. Do it to the ones you don't.
Do it to the ones you don't. Wow. And this has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy, Smooth Jay. And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. And, you know, we're just simply trying to be leaders in our community. By the way, we're on every major platform.
Yes.
Please like, share, subscribe,
Yes.
and bring your friends and family out to hear some of this good, rich, loving wisdom that we have to bring. Just so that you know, we love you folks. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.